Have you seen her assistant bring her a coffee?
No.
No.
Not in a while.
She needs their souls to sustain herself. So, another truth. We weren't as far along as other countries. That's true. Once we started testing, and we started testing more people in 8 days, I think, eventually, than South Korea tested in 8 weeks once we started testing. And now, of course, we have more privatized industries. We talked about stepping up so we can test more people. Again, bottleneck, CDC, socialized government. That's what we're talking about here, right? Socialized healthcare run by the government versus private industry coming out with a 5-minute test and a 2-minute test. I bet you the next one, you just start to say the word test into the test like you're positive.
Yeah.
Just It could tell by my viral load.
That's a terrible test.
More than any other country in the world right now, as far as that. So that talking point is gone as well. Yep. Here's another point that they'll still use. They'll make. Another area where the United States, actually, by the way, is doing really well because of the private sector. Independent researchers, they found success with combination therapy. We don't have a cure, but we do have what they call therapeutics. We do have treatment. Donald Trump went up and talked about chloroquine, chloroquine, I don't care. Chloroquine and antibiotics. Fish tank cleaner. Just go home.
That's how it's pronounced.
Just take a shot and tell us how it works out. He was mocked. He was mocked across the media. Right, this was irresponsible. Yeah. Well, now it's FDA approved in emergency uses. It was already an FDA approved drug because of its safety profile, but now it's FDA approved specifically for coronavirus. But before that, a private practitioner had prescribed it off-label, had 699 people who were treated successfully, not to mention all the independent testing, which we talked about on this channel, and this is really concerning. Twitter and YouTube were removing or censoring videos that talked about chloroquine as fake news or talked about Chinese masks being faulty. They removed some of these tweets and videos. How scary is that when these people are in charge of fact-checking? And not only are they dishonest, but they are dishonest in a way that could save thousands of lives. When we're talking about a vaccine, yes, researchers are working on a vaccine, and it'll probably take about 1.5 years. Why? Mostly because of the FDA baggage, just for the same reason as chloroquine. Right? It's really hard to move a barge. It's sometimes more helpful when you have Donald Trump coming in with chloroquine and another barge going, "Get over there!
Get out of my way."
It does help.
It's terrible.
This show's more of a tugboat. It's easier to move. So here's something, what we're talking about, we do have to get going with Razor Fist, and then we'll see you tomorrow for Good Morning Mug Club. But this is something that just bothers me so much. I don't think it could possibly be more clear at this point that we need the private sector. The only other country that's had success beyond doxing its citizens when you look at South Korea is because they did mobilize the private sector. Once we started doing that here in the United States, guess what? We start doing better. And guess what else? Donald Trump starts speaking directly to his audience with these evening press briefings. His approval rating goes up. So what do? Let's stop airing Trump. Let's run a story about people who drank fish tank cleaner to condemn Trump for touting a drug. Oh, wait, it's been approved by the FDA and it actually shows some level of efficacy. Let's not cover it. Let's blame Donald Trump for saying that we should be able to sanitize masks. Oh, wait a second. We actually can do that now because private industry stepped up to do it. It's almost like Donald Trump said this, kind of knowing what was coming around the corner. Let's just silence this. This is an amazing situation for me because after 9/11, and I know that a lot of people didn't like George Bush, at the very least we came together for the common good, and right now we're fighting this sort of invisible enemy. I know some people saying it's not technically invisible if you have a microscope. I don't care. The point here is that I don't know if there'll ever be a time now where we'll come together again against an enemy. If something could ever help us find common ground, it would be this right here. And I don't just mean fighting a virus, but I mean the idea that we are making unbelievable headway, and we are making headway not from tearing people away from their jobs and place of business and having them holed up in their apartments, though some people need to continue doing that, obviously, but we are making headway because of American businesses innovating and stepping forward to save fellow Americans' lives. I know it's a bad narrative because one of the things that capitalism is greedy and bad, but guess what? These people are willing to sacrifice their business's capabilities to step up for the greater good, and the fact that these stories are not front page everywhere at a time when the American public is panicked and you could offer them a sliver of hope is, to me, not only dishonest, it is journalistic malpractice. I don't even know if that's a real thing because you're not really held to any kind of standard like a lawyer or a doctor, but if you could be, we'd hang you up at dawn before breakfast, figuratively speaking, of course, not literally. I just want you fired and on the unemployment line with everyone else who you've harmed. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, click this box because you'll enjoy Gerald's show that he hosts. I'm kidding. Just subscribe and hit the notification bell. Hit all notifications. Oh, look, there are videos playing in boxes, too, up here. Click one of these videos if you enjoy them. So subscribe, notification bell. Think about joining Mug Club at leatherpender.com/mugclub, and Gerald A. That's what you need to know.